Hey everyone, I'm Robert Lupo and this is Lupo Outdoors. I want to welcome you to our Wing Class Part 1 of our Quest to a Mile series, a beginner's guide. We're starting with Wind Class because this is the one thing that's going to make you the most frustrated over everything else. You really got to learn the basics before you even can attempt to go out over 1,000 yards out to a mile. Now, after we do the basics, and this is a multi-part class, we are going to have a step-by-step for the Kestrel 5700 with Wes. We are developing a workbook for this class, so stay tuned for updates on that. Now, in this class, we're going to cover the absolute basics. We're not going to go into heavy math or any of that unless we have to. We're going to talk about why wind matters so much at long range, how to describe wind in simple, plain language, and how to use a simple clock system so you and your spotter are always talking about the same thing. This whole course is broken down into short, focused lessons so you can watch one, try it on the range, and come back for more. Now, let's jump into why wind is such a big deal once you go long range. Here's our roadmap for class 1. First, we're going to talk about why wind matters at all and why it becomes such a problem once you stretch past a few hundred yards. Second, we're going to define some basic wind language, stuff like speed, direction, headwind, tailwind, and crosswind. Third, we're going to wrap up with the clock system, which is a super simple way to describe where the wind is coming from and the o'clock position. By the end of this class, you'll be able to talk about wind in a way that actually makes sense to your spotter and other shooters on the line. The big idea is this. Your bullet is flying through moving air. It's not a laser beam. From the second it leaves the muzzle until it hits the target, it's being pushed around by the wind. The longer the bullet is in the air, the more time the wind has to shove it left or right. At short distances, you might barely notice anything at all. But as you extend out, wind becomes the main difference between a perfect hit and a complete miss. That's why learning to read and call wind is such a core skill for long distance shooting. Let's take a look at this diagram here. We've got the same shooter, same rifle, same ammo, and the same steady 10-mile-per-hour crosswind blowing across the range. At 100 yards, you might only see the bullet move maybe an inch, if that. Not a huge deal. But at 500 yards, that same wind has a much more time to push that bullet. And now the drift is bigger. At 1,000 yards, we're talking feet, not inches. And at 1,760 yards, 1 mile, you can easily blow completely off the still if you don't hold for that wind. Nothing magical about the bullet or the wind. The only thing that changed was how long the bullet was in the air. Here's a simple way to think about it. At 100 yards, a 10-mile-per-hour crosswind might move your impact an inch or two. You might not even really notice it because you're still in the bull. At 1,000 yards, that same 10-mile-per-hour wind can push you several feet off your original line of fire. Now, wind is a huge part of whether you hit or miss. At a mile, if you just dial elevation and ignore the wind, there's a pretty good chance you won't even touch the plate. Before you blame everything on the wind, there are a few basics you want solid. First, a go 100 yard zero. You need to know exactly where your rifle hits when there's no mystery. Second, a consistent ammo. If your ammo is all over the place, you can't tell if a miss was because of the wind or just a bad round. Now, here's the kick on that. If you do reloads, you're going to have strong consistency. If you don't reload, you need to test different ammo manufacturers. Once you find one that has really tight grouping, look at the lot number and then buy up all of that specific lot number because the accuracy is going to change from lot to lot. Third, a reasonable stable shooting position and a decent trigger control. If the rifle is bouncing around and your trigger pull is jerky, the best wind call in the world won't save you. Finally, have some way to measure or estimate wind. And handheld meter is great, but you can also start with what you feel on your face and what you see on the ground and mirage. Once the basics are dialed in, your wind position will actually mean something. Let's define two simple pieces: wind speed and wind direction. Wind speed is just how fast the air is moving, usually in miles per hour, 5, 10, 15, and so on. Wind direction is where the wind is coming from. The word from is really important. If I say 10 miles per hour from the right, that means the wind is blowing from my right side towards my left, and it's going to push the bullet to the left. A common beginner mistake is thinking about where the wind is going instead of where it starts. Always think coming from where. So if you have a wind meter like the Kestrel, when you activate it, you're going to be pointing the back to the target. So that way it gets the full compass reading. I like to use a weather vane on my Kestrel because that way it'll move the Kestrel around and give me proper readings. You won't always get to stand there with a wind meter. So you want your eyes and skin to learn what different wind speeds feel like. On the left panel, we got a very light wind, maybe 3 to 5 miles per hour. You might feel a light touch on your face and the grass barely moves. When you look at this image, you can see that the grass is barely moving. This would represent a 3 to 5 mile per hour wind. Now, if you look at the leaves here rustling, this is going to represent an 8 to 12 mile per hour wind. So watch the leaves, watch the grass, and get a strong understanding of what's going on. Now, if you look and you see the branches moving like we see here, this is going to represent more of a 15 plus mile per hour. You see the branches are stiff, so the wind blowing and moving the branches back and forth is going to give you a better indication of a stronger wind. A good drill is when you're outside, guess the wind speed based on what you see, feel, and check a weather app or meter when you can to see how accurate you were. Now let's talk about how the wind hits you. A headwind comes from straight in front of you, blowing from the target back towards you. A tailwind comes from behind you, blowing towards the target. A crosswind will come from either the left side or the right side. Crosswinds are where they really push the bullet sideways and cause left or right misses. Headwinds and tailwinds mostly change the elevation a bit. The bullet might hit a little higher or lower, but they don't usually cause huge left or right misses the way a full crosswind does. Here's a really important concept: wind value. Not every wind hits the bullet with full strength. If the wind is coming straight from the side at a 90-degree angle, like 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, that's full value. It has the most power to push your bullet. If the wind is coming at a 45-degree angle, like 1 and 2 o'clock or 4 and 5 o'clock, that's about half value. It still moves the bullet, but roughly half as much as a pure side wind. If it's almost straight ahead or tail with just a little angle, that's more like a quarter value, small sideways push. Rule of thumb, more from the side equals more drift. More from the front and back, less drift. This diagram shows wind value in picture form. Imagine you're standing in the center of the clock. Winds from 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock are labeled full. Those are pure side winds and they hit with maximum sideways force. Winds from 1 to 2 and 4 and 5, both sides, are labeled half. They're coming partly from the front, partly from the side, so they only have half the value of wind effect. Winds at 12 and 6 are labeled low. Those are mostly headwinds or tailwinds. So they don't push your bullet left or right very much at all. So if it's mostly from the side, think full value. If it's halfway between front and side, think half value. If it's mostly from the front or back, that's low value. Let's do a quick practice so that it sticks. First, wind from directly left or from the right. It's going to be full, half, or quarter value. Pause the video and say it out loud. 3, 2, 1. Answer. That's from 9 o'clock, so it's a full value crosswind. Second, wind from the front right, around 2 o'clock. That's a half value. It's half front, half side. Third, wind almost from behind you, maybe 7 o'clock. That's mostly tailwind, so the sideways effect is low, closer to quarter value. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, drop your answers in the comments so you're actually thinking it through and not just listening. Now we're going to put everything into a system that's really easy to use on the range, the clock system. Picture a clock face. You're standing in the center and the target is at 12 o'clock. Wind from 3 o'clock means the wind from your right. Wind from 9 o'clock means the wind from your left. Wind from 12 o'clock is a headwind. Wind from 6 o'clock is a tailwind. Let's let you and your spotter talk about wind quickly and clearly. If both of you speak clock system, there's way less confusion. Here's the clock system drawn out. You're in the middle of the clock. The target's at 12. The arrow from the top labeled headwind 12 is wind from behind you towards the target. The arrow from the right labeled far right is wind from 3 o'clock from your right side. The arrow from the left labeled far left 9 is wind from 9 o'clock from your left side. Ask yourself on the range, where on the clock is this wind coming from? That's the mindset we want. Now let's combine the clock with wind value. Winds from 3 or 9 are full value, as we stated, pure side wind, strongest sideway push. Winds from around 1 and 2 down to like 4 and 5 are half values. So everything coming from here and here is half the value of a sideways wind. Winds from 11, 12, 1, or from 5, 6, 7 are mostly head or tail winds. So they have low sideways effect. We treat them as low or quarter value. Every time you step up to shoot, run this quick mental filter. Where on the clock is the wind coming from? And is that full, half, or low value? Let's say some of these out loud. That way, you'll get used to saying them to a spotter. 10 miles per hour from 3 o'clock means a 10 mile per hour full value wind from my right. 8 mile per hour from 2 o'clock means it's an 8 mile per hour half value wind from my front right. 6 mile per hour from 12 o'clock means 6 miles per hour headwind. Might affect elevation a little bit, but there's almost no sideways drift. Practice speaking these. You want these to roll off your tongue naturally when you're behind the rifle. In the next class, we're going to be turning this language into real wind calls. We'll look downrange, break the wind into zones, and start making honest, repeatable estimates. If you want to watch this whole series, hit subscribe. And check the description for the downloadable workbook pages that match Class 1. Those should be available soon.